Bring your questions, bring your proof, different voices, one discussion, real perspective.
Welcome back. Episode 3, The State of Us. Everything we bring to Sunday dinner, to you and to us. So much has been going on. I'm talking like when we trying to film recent episodes, internet outage, power outages, and I'm talking to 17,000 people, the struggles of trying to get podcasts recorded, all kind of wild stuff's been going on between the three of us. But we want to give you the content you deserve and the content we would like for you to have from us. And with that being said, I feel like it's not that it's a jinx, it's not that it's a curse, but almost a conspiracy. So that goes into the narrative of what today's topic is, conspiracy theories. And Sims is the guy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I mean, I'm gonna give you my viewpoint, what I think, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We have to keep this somewhat to a minimum, but Sims is the guy. But conspiracy theories, just go ahead, Sims. We don't need introductions. We'll do all that any other time. Just kick it off. Kick the shit off.
So, man, conspiracy theories, man. It's a lot going on right now in the world, man. It's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world, man. A lot of people are still speaking out, and I got a lot of conspiracy to cover, but today we're only going to cover a little bit of things such as the Joe Phelps, man. What the hell is going on with that situation, man? A man wants to put scriptures of the Bible in the AI computer, and now all of a sudden he just goes missing or gets killed. Whatever happened to him, we still don't know.
He's that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Oh,
we still don't know what actually happened, but
can we have an ADHD moment? And you teach me, but because I seen on several occasions, I mean, he's putting Bible scriptures. How do they not already have Bible scriptures in AI? Because they have the ability to obtain all the data anyway. But two, like, does that tie into the AI creating its own language and then why they had to shut down several AI? I know it's a different conspiracy theory, but I'm asking your thoughts. I mean, teach me about Joey F., not Joe Crack the Dawn. That's a whole different podcast. Joe, whatever, just that. We ain't talking about you. But teach me exactly why he was putting scripture in AI and the purpose of what he was doing. And then we'll continue down this rabbit hole.
Well, there was a couple of things he was doing. He found old Bibles. He traveled and found old Bibles that were like erased from history. And he wanted to actually give them a way to people to see this information. So he said, what better way to get it out to the people than start scanning it to the AI, to the computer, and letting AI read it and, make quick e-copies of the books and everything. He can get it out quicker, the information he had found. But, also on top of that, he had a lot of other things going on. He had, he was helping with a project that was making plastic waste turn into gasoline. Yeah, this is deep, man. This is deep. So
grocery.
He
bags.
wasn't.
I'm just
he wasn't turning it into it. He invested into a guy named Nature Jab, and Nature Jab was turning plastic waste into gasoline.
That boy from Atlanta.
I think so. Yes.
Because he went missing for a little bit.
That isn't the first time this has happened.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, I feel when you do something for humanity that benefits the consciousness, and if I'm going down the wrong path with this, tell me, just shut the hell up. But if you do something for humanity that benefits the consciousness at a massive scale, that's when they start. That's when they start looking at you.
Yeah, in the background, I'm trying to pull up this one clip that I had found earlier throughout the week from him. Yeah, it was just like, you could tell like he was on to some serious knowledge he wanted to show. I'm not going to get into all of it because I'm no one special to be talking about religion on that type of level. Like, I understand it. So
that's
but
a
it
whole
was just
nother
cool.
episode.
Yeah, it was just cool to see,
I'll just touch base because us as black men, which we had a collective conversation at a round table with more successful individuals that look like us. I've been overseas and have read several different religions. and opened my eyes to a lot of things that predate what we have in America. I'll stop there. That's for a whole nother episode. But all I'm saying is I understand. My conspiracy today, just for me, we'll get back to Joey F, is my conspiracy that my hairline won't stay in place and my forehead won't stop growing.
I'm the type of man.
So my bad.
I'm sorry. No,
Please
I
go.
pulled something up.
Please go. While he's pulling that up, politician, tell me what's going on in the world, or what's a conspiracy theory you've heard as a theory, or you believe, or that you know for a fact deep down in your soul something going on?
I personally don't necessarily subscribe to conspiracies. However, recently there was a comedian, and I can't remember his name, but he posed the question. He was trying to be funny, but it made me think, it's not wrong. It's one thing not to believe in all conspiracies, but then another thing you don't believe in any conspiracies. Like, you just think the government is out there batting 1,000 every day, just telling us the truth all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, I don't believe that. So yeah, a couple conspiracies out there, they might be legit. And me and Sims was actually having a conversation offline. We was talking about there's only so much that you can know, and once you become aware of certain things and living outside of the matrix, you have to decide, are you going to play along with everybody else, or are you going to play along with the information that you now know? So it's that delicate balance of, living in this world where everybody is still asleep and still going along with what the system or the propaganda machine is pumping out, and really knowing and understanding what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So let's talk. Okay. We're all talking about conspiracy theories. The Matrix. I mean, is that not me personally? That's my big one.
Yeah, it's my big one too.
How?
But there's another day for the Matrix. That's a lot to cover.
The Matrix is deep. I can get deep. Yeah. But there's
deep.
Okay, so let's start maybe surface level. How the hell does Hollywood know everything before, like, everything? For instance, we're talking about AI, and this gentleman right here putting scripture in AI, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go back to iRobot.
So this was one thing that he was showing. We'll show this real quick.
The history of the United States is hidden under the cover? The system admitted to me it was lying to me when I was in 11th grade. Who wants to know about the history of the Jews? This is the result. Origins of the nation. A trove of old books. Formation of the church and his family, which I'll show you. But first, I want to explain how I got on this. I was in AP biology with a teacher named Dr. Reiser. She was explaining the creation of the Earth. A nebula reacted with the static charge and the Earth was formed. I raised my hand. Where did the nebula and the static charge come from? We were always really cool, but she chunked me off and said, "Joey, do not talk." She cut me off. I didn't know why. After class, I went up and spoke to her, and she was almost in tears. She looked at me and said, "Joey, I know that you can't get something out of nothing. I believe that this earth was created by God. I have to teach you this, even though I know it's not right because it's standard curriculum, and I'm sorry." And in that moment, I knew that they had been lying to us about everything else. It was just like a relationship when you found out your partner was cheating on you. You wondered all those late nights at the office, what was really happening? And that's how I know the system is full of shit, because they told me. Many people agree with me, but you can never find it online. Why? They can change information on an algorithm. When you get old books, you can see how information has been changed. 1878 print, there were a lot of pictures because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Hope Leo, we got one right now. Let's fast forward to the 1900s. Absolutely no pictures. You have to read exactly what it says. You can't make any inferences on your own. Night scenes of the Bible, 1869. The night of agony, Jesus in the garden sweating blood. You ain't never heard that broke down on Google, have you? Conversations on the Bible, 1889. The history of the Jews, from the beginning to the captivity in Babylon. Events following the flood. Origins of the nation. Ever heard any of this before? Ancient magnetism and psychic Forces, L.H. Anderson, 1895, from the Masonic Temple. Hypnotism, the law of attraction. Hypnotism, the key to occultism. Magnetism and the medium of mental inspiration. This is big information that talks about deep things that we don't think about anymore. And then other books that show how fast we've warped in modern history. Minutes of working time required to buy selected food and shelter. USSR, not even a country anymore. 1958, you could buy 2.2 pounds of beef sirloin in 44 minutes of work. That ain't happening no more.
What is that?
What the hell? The history of the United States is hidden under the cover? Compromise bill. Cuba to the United States. 400 million men left new. Where's it's got to be hidden up under this. I don't want to tear up this point, but I got to know.
Extremely interesting why we can't access anything with the formerly known country USSR, aka Russia now. And you know how he says a pictures are worth 1,000 words? A lot of other countries have dragons on multiple pictures.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm not saying this for clickbait, and I'm not saying this. I've been to several countries for work-related activities, and you have to learn certain things, again, that predate a lot of stuff that we have in America. But a lot of countries have dragons in a lot of their pictures. A lot of countries, this whole ice wall and Tartania, is that what it is?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I would definitely would say, man, go back and watch Game of Thrones. If Game of Thrones was so well crafted, there has to be a little truth into it.
But that's what I was getting back to. How the hell does Hollywood know shit before?
Because it's the oath from the Hollywood. You have to go back to the conspiracy, where conspiracy comes to from the Hollywood. Hollywood. Look up the word Hollywood. It is a magical wood that only grows in Hollywood. And they worship this with Hollywood. I'm telling you.
I believe it, because it was funny because when I do my preparation for our shows and, you know, my education part of it that I share with you guys, you know, bam, we were going to talk about conspiracy theory already. So, you know, you get on social media, logarithms start tagging stuff about Hollywood and why it's at where it's at specifically. Who was it? Corey Feldman? Because, you know, he was going down the whole molestation and all the sexual shit in Hollywood. And they were like, well, if you said something, why don't you go back? Because all this other stuff. He goes, California is the only state where statutes of limitations, if I go back, because they already didn't have enough evidence before when I was a kid, then they can sue me. Why is Hollywood where it's at? Like, you're absolutely right. There's layers to everything. I guess to navigate the episode in the current state, let's try to keep it where we're at in the current state, and for our show being the state of us to wrap it around, all the conspiracy theories in your head, and this goes for both of you, all the conspiracy theories in your head, what do you think it is? And again, it's just a conspiracy theory. What do you think it is about the African ancestry that we have in our DNA, why everybody wants to keep us down? And that's a very loaded question. What
I'll let the politician go with that one first.
I'm okay with that, but what do you think? And I don't know if anybody's heard anything. What is it that the Africans are attacked everywhere? So I don't know. And this will be a whole nother episode when it comes to, you know, slavery and African ancestry. You know, the Middle East, the only reason a lot of the Middle Easterns have dark skin, they had a slave trade before the Europeans, like a massive slave trade. But why did they want to do that? Why are the Africans sought after to keep under?
To me, I want to talk about that slavery too on another season, on another episode.
The whole slavery
when we
thing,
get a little deeper, because I might lose a little bit of people the way I'm going to talk about slavery, the way I see how slavery comes out now. So just stay tuned. It's going to get deep.
Oh, that'll get real deep. Pause. But politician, go ahead. You be the first one.
So I'm on the chopping block here, huh? Okay. So I'll say this. This is something that I've observed, and not only just in my everyday experiences, but through media. So I like movies and things like that. There's a movie that's called A Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Hey, politician, talk more into your mic. You're cracking up a little bit.
Okay, so there's a film called A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. And I think that applies largely to, we'll just say, dark-skinned people. I feel like dark-skinned people in our culture, in the world, are admired. And that thin line, it goes from admiration and to being excited or fascinated by dark-skinned people into hatred and fear because we're different or perceived to be different. And I think that's where a lot of the thinking and fear and everything, there's no medium. So you're either all in on dark-skinned people or you're all the way out. Thin line between love and hate. I feel like that's where a lot of society is in the world, no matter where you go in the world. I think people are just fascinated with dark.
Fascinated, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Listen, Germans. Now we know the horrible history of Germany. However, if you want to see a crazy reception in a heartfelt way, in a sought after sexual way, kind of, Germany loves black people. At least they do now. We know there was a time they didn't love anybody, but Germany loves it. Hell, the German chocolate cake is like that was designed. Look up the history of the German chocolate cake. Germany loves Africans and individuals of African ancestry. So I completely can see and agree with your viewpoint. I don't know if it's as easy as to say there's a thin line though, because I feel you can see that line, not just in our society, but globally. You can see that line, where that line is and where that line is not. And I don't think it's that thin in our current political status, state, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think that line has even been bolded. Individuals are now more bold when it comes to these lines. And then that's a whole nother episode. Boy, we go never episodes. Let me write this shit down. However, I agree with you. I just feel like the line's not that thin. And as an African American, the older we've become and we've all have experienced our own, it's sad, but I still dawn the question, why? And I know we're not going to have answers, but back to Jeff F., the individual we were talking about, we have to see more of the world, and you have to go out, because there are some answers out there, a lot of things that I do not wish to talk about solely because of where I'm at. I was like, my eyes were opened up to so much, and so much that we were blinded to. And I'm not saying that we're better than anybody. Let me look into the mic when I'm saying this. Okay. I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm not saying that we deserve anything more than you. All I'm saying is, what about my ancestors everybody wanted to keep and take away whatever greatness there was. There was something.
Yeah, there was
of extreme value. Now, I'll say specifically, I am of true African Egyptian heritage in regards to those pyramids. Look at this nose. And I'm not trying to, it is kind of a joke, but it's not a joke. Look, where are we at right now? Politician Sims, they tried to carve this off those, great structures. And even recently they found massive structures under all the pyramids, football fields wide and perfectly designed. There is a greatness to us that we don't know we have in us. But I can't, for the life of me, find what is it about us that's secular that people wanted to hold us down. And that's, conspiracy wise, Is that part of why AI is getting scary? Because maybe AI is going to let us know,
it
hey,
goes
y'all ain't supposed to be here
it goes back
for a good reason.
to the Moors. We have to study the Moors.
I mean, we go back further than the Moors, though.
I know, but
Like
the
way
Moors was a
further.
golden age.
That's what we're taught over here. And this is one of those, me being overseas, that was kind of like somewhat of an endpoint. There's so much more.
You're right.
When I don't want it to sound like I'm being racial, but it's going to kind of sound like I'm being racial. When individuals who don't look like us do their scientific research and literally come out and say, hey, we have Neanderthal DNA, but you don't, you're not telling me nobody else's bells went off. Like, all right, so Neanderthals are supposed to be human. What the hell? What type time you on?
And it also goes like just off topic of that. You could just tie it into real life. Why do black people come and dominate every sport?
Not just sports, even intellectual standpoints. A lot of your medical physicians are the dark individuals, dark-skinned individuals who have the African ancestry trait in the medical field are the dark ones, the ones from Africa. Now, again, I'm not taking away from anybody. However, your more profound individuals have African ancestry in them. Most of your common inventors, the peanut butter air conditioner, even Henry Ford,
that's what I wanted to get into.
Stealing stuff from Africans.
I feel like we in Black History Month, and this is a thing that I've always seen, that I've always wanted to change around Black History Month. During Black History Month, I feel like we're set up to just remember the pain. But we can't, during Black History Month, we should remember the inventors that got us this far.
I agree with
like
that.
As far as like everyday usage, the microwave, the phone, all the Black inventorship that we do.
Black History Month needs to be way more than Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Exactly.
And Harry.
I got a story real quick about how Black History Month went at my job. You know what I'm saying? My job for Black History Month, I walked past a bunch of pictures with no faces on them, and you were supposed to basically guess who it was, because you ain't had no faces on them. But I mean, it had faces on them, but no structure. And it had just the names under and what they did. And it was the same shit they put up the year before. Yeah. I was just like, nothing like any substance or nothing like that. Just, I feel like it's just, instead of it being a divide of everybody just, saying, oh, because how white other people see it as, oh, they just want remembered because, the system is just, we can't get past it. You know what? Well, forget this. I'm not saying forget the slavery aspect of Black History Month. I'm just saying, let's, make it so, let's humble those inventors that like got this world going too. You know what I'm saying? Like make it more about the people who, put like the traffic light. You know what I'm saying? It's something every day we use, a traffic light. You know what I'm saying? I'm personally, in my 36 years of living, I started learning about Black History Month on year 6. So that means 30 years I've had to listen for Rosa Parks now.
True.
It's getting old. You know what I'm saying? It's getting saturated now. It's getting watered down. It's losing its umph. Rosa Parks back then had the umph. Now we need to know who the new leaders are that's going to. We need to know what's going on now.
I'm going to bring this back.
However,
I love it.
Caution.
I love it. Listen.
Hold on. Let the politician hit that too.
Go ahead.
All I would say is I would caution, while I agree with what you're saying, Sam, wholehearted, I would caution not bringing up some of those stories and not bringing some of those things up, because society today will have us believe that happened so long ago. And
I understand.
Ruby Bridges has a TikTok account. My great grandfather was a slave, and my mother was alive and was in Alabama during the church bombings. So it's one of those things where absolutely it has been done. There should be focus and highlight on other things, but at the same time, the more and more they try to distance this from that, I feel like that's how we slip into where we repeat things and we try and brush it under the rug. Like, oh, that happened so long ago. And it's like, no, it really wasn't that long ago.
We kind of deviated from conspiracy. It's not quite done, but we need a simple wrap up. If I mean, we can go into it, but we need a simple wrap up because it definitely went to where, again, it's called the state of us. It's going to be the state of us. So if this is the route we're going down, then F it, let it be the route we're going down. So what I'm going to do right now, okay, just like I do with any other episode, I'm going to ask each of you one question. We're going to stay away from the African ancestry stuff right now. All right. I'm going to ask each of you one question because and this is how naturally conversation should go. So it's not even like we're having ADHD moments. Yes or no. But I'm going to ask each of you one question, conspiracy theory, wrap up. But we're going to jump, we're going to jump back in. So for our next episode, if you're watching episode 3, you're going to see this tattered Coke shirt in episode 4 because it sounds like shit's getting heavy in a good way with good discussion. So, politician, quick question. We were briefly talking about conspiracy, still are to an extent. However, do you feel conspiracies are starting to be proven more often these days?
I wouldn't necessarily say that conspiracies are proven. I think what conspiracies do and have always done, and why they're necessary, has forced people to think, do their own research, and not just go along, with the humdrum. This is what I've been told. This is what I've been taught. It's allowed us to challenge some of the things that were first mentioned to us. I'll try and keep this brief, but even in academia, there's so many things that we deem as being fact, and it was really the only first instance something happened, and we recorded it down and said, "Oh, nope, this is fact. This is the way it is." We never double checked it. Never went to see if no, this only happened in this one instance. And I think conspiracies give way to that. You kind of say, okay, that happened once. What happened again? Why did it happen that way? And can we plan?
I respect it. I appreciate you. I respect you. And I love you as a black man. Thank you again for joining for another episode. We're not done. We're about to be back into it. Sims, my man Sim Salabim. Do you feel like conspiracies are being proven more in the time that we're in?
For me, yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of this stuff, where did it even come from to even become to a conspiracy? You know what I'm saying? There had to be some type of truth in it to begin with. So it's just that you have to dissect where's the truth then. You know what I'm saying? It was jokes about it back in when, we were hearing about somebody running into a pizza spot because of trafficking underground tunnels. But then we do our research, like the politician said, and then there is a underground tunnel system located in Washington, D.C. Go figure. Crazy. So, again, I feel like there's always some type of truth to a conspiracy, whether it has been just like a secret that you tell, just like we were in school when we used to all sit around that one spot and they did that thing. The grass is blue if you go over there by Tuesday. Yeah. And then by the time it gets around, there's something, the grass is blue. Tuesday it was yellow. You know what I'm saying? There was some truth in there at one point. So I'm going to leave you guys on that note for episode 2.
All right. Well, episode 3, I liked where
3 or 4, where are we going?
Yeah. We were on
part
3.
2.
But 3 into 3.25 or whatever it is, or 0.5. However, end of episode 3, whatever this is, I like where it's going. We invite you guys to the dinner table with the state of us in our next episode, as we're going to get heavy into African-American history, slavery, black culture. And, because this is the state of us, and here we are, this is what we're going to talk about. So from your host, PD Crack, the politician, and Sims, we love you guys. We invite you back for next Sunday dinner, which is going to be right after this. Come join us. We'll see y'all later.
You see, Bring your truth, bring your questions, bring your proof. Different voices, one discussion, real perspective.